Hey everybody, how's it going? My name is Chris. This is Stylist Meets Vinyl. Today I'm doing a vinyl finds video. I'm happy to be doing it because I didn't expect that I would come across some records so soon, and I wasn't planning on doing this, but I just came back from a yard sale in my area and I picked up some records, and earlier this week I was at a thrift shop and I amazingly found some actually good records at a thrift shop, and so I just thought I'd throw together a quick vinyl finds video. But I do have some stories to tell you about how I came across these records, so bear with me here. Now, I'll start by showing you my thrift store finds. As I said, I couldn't believe I went in. So I went to visit a friend, and he in this small little town. And while we were visiting, he told me that there's a thrift store in town, and we just happened to be close by, and I couldn't help but stop in, and I was amazed that there was actually like a lot of really good records there. The prices were okay. I think the sign said the records were like $5 to $10, and some a little bit more, very vague. But there were a lot of records that I had already, so I didn't buy them, but like some good records there. Some Stones, way more than just the Stones, but a lot of good records. And my friend bought some, and I bought some, but I have been trying to I've been spending a lot on records lately, so I've been trying to kind of cut back. That's why the thrift store was a good idea, because, you can always find some good deals at the thrift shop. So I'll show you what I found and what I took home. So first of all, I saw this one. Led Zeppelin, The Song Remains the Same. This is a live album. This is the soundtrack to the film The Song Remains the Same. And it is a double live album, gatefold, with an 8-page booklet inside. And there's also a little foreword by Cameron Crowe right here. Anyone who doesn't know Cameron Crowe, he wrote and directed Almost Famous, a bunch of other movies as well. He used to write for Rolling Stone magazine when he was young. He was like very young, 15 or 16 or something, and they had him as a writer. So since a teenager, he was surrounded by like musicians, and so he wrote a nice little foreword. This booklet inside, double album, very good condition. So I saw this right away and I was like, yes, I am picking this up, because as you can kind of see in the back here, I'm working on my Led Zeppelin collection and slowly chipping away. And I've been kind of working in order of like my favorite records, buying them first, and then as I get more and more, it's like, okay, like I've seen, Presence and Coda in the shop so many times, but they've never really been that well priced that I'm like, I don't know, they're not my favorites, and I'm not really going to spend that much money on them. So I've been trying to find them well priced. But anyways, The Song Remains the Same. This is one that wasn't even on my radar, and at a thrift shop, great price, good condition. I'm definitely picking this up. So very happy to have this one. Next, in my last video I mentioned I did a contest entry for Northern Revolutions, my friend Rob over at Northern Revolutions. Anybody who follows that channel will know that Rob is a big fan of the band, and I don't have any of the band, and I promised Rob that if I came across any band I would buy it, and I did. So the band, the best of the band. Now this is clearly a compilation, a best of. I would really like to find music from Big Pink and the self-titled Brown album, so I do have my eye on those ones. But as I said, I saw it and I told him I would pick it up. I feel kind of like a bad Canadian, because the band is like 4/5 Canadian, and so I just had to have some in my collection. So this has got all of the hits from, I think, their first like 6 or 7 albums. Stage Fright, Up on Cripple Creek, The Shape I'm In, a lot of good ones on here. So very happy to have the best of the band, and also in good condition. All the ones I got are in good condition, so that just makes it even better. Okay, next. You guys know this one, I'm sure. Van Halen debut album from 1978. This is so I have 1984, which is their like sixth album or something. I'm not sure, but this is their debut, obviously self-titled. Some really good ones on here. You Really Got Me, which is the Kinks cover that they do. Janie's Crying, Running with the Devil, and also Eruption, Ice Cream Man. But Eruption, that really great guitar solo from Eddie Van Halen, amazing. So this one is a very nice addition to the collection, debut album. Not bad condition either. And then finally at the thrift shop, the last one. This is like the last one I saw, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna add this into the pile. Is Jeff Beck, Blow by Blow. This is from 1975, I believe. This is his second, like, the second album he put out by just Jeff Beck. There was Jeff Beck and then the Jeff Beck Group. And then, so Jeff Beck did Truth, which I have, which is from 1968, I believe, right after he left the Yardbirds. Jeff Beck was one of the guitarists in the Yardbirds. And Truth is really good. And then he did the Jeff Beck Group, released a couple of albums, and then this is his second solo album, Blow by Blow. This is a really cool album. It's fun, it's bluesy, it's I almost want to say like a little bit funky too. He does some covers on here, a really nice She's a Woman, Lennon McCartney Beatles cover, and also he does so there's a song called Thelonious, which is written by Stevie Wonder, and he does a version of that. I think Stevie plays on it as well. And so anyways, this is a really fun album. Almost entirely instrumental. Very few lyrics, words on this album. So very happy to add this one too. I'm really enjoying the stuff from Jeff Beck. Okay, so that was the thrift store finds. I was really happy to find those. Good price, good condition on all of them. So that was really nice. Okay, then now I'm going to get into the yard sale finds. And if you guys have made it this far, then you'll be okay with me telling a story of how I came across these yard sale finds. So I've been checking Kijiji, and it's yard sale season, so I've been answering some ads and asking people if they have records. And one guy responded and said that he does have records. He has the yard sale coming up, and he wouldn't say which records or how many he had, but he just said he had a lot, and I'd have to come and see for myself if I wanted to look at them. So the yard sale starts tomorrow. I asked him if he'd be okay with me coming to look at them ahead of time. He said yes. So I stopped off there on my way to my baseball game, and or on my way home from my baseball game. That's why I have this nice rosy glow here, if I didn't mention that. I could tell like right away that he was a little bit hostile, and he was defensive about these records that he was selling. And so he goes in to get this stack, and he was setting up for this yard sale. It's starting tomorrow, and his wife was there, and she told me that this guy buys storage lockers, storage units, and then they have a big yard sale every year and sell all the stuff. So he had bought all these records in various different storage lockers, and he made it very clear that he was kind of like, at least the feeling that I got from just his body language and the stuff he was saying to me was that he was worried that he was going to sell like a $1,000, $2,000 record to someone for like $2. And I guess he didn't know enough about his records. So he was really, like guarded. Like he wouldn't even let me close to them. He started this rant about how somebody came in and looked at them already, and he could just tell by the way the guy was flipping through them that he didn't want to sell to this guy. So he was like, no, I'm not going to show you the rest of them. And so I had to explain to him, well, this is just for my own personal collection. I don't flip records, and and then he wanted me to buy the entire lot of records for $2 a piece without looking at them at all, without seeing them. And so I explained to him, I'm not buying records that I haven't seen. I don't know what condition they're in. I don't know what titles there are. They could be all polka records, and most of them were like old country records, which, no offense if anyone likes country, but That's the kind of stuff you find in thrift stores all the time. These old polka and country records that are worth 20 cents, maybe, you know? So I'm not spending $2 a piece. And I think he thought he was giving me a deal or something. But he said if I started flipping through them, then he'd charge me more. And I'm like, that's fine, because I only want to buy the titles that I want. And I will say, actually, that Dylan over at Noble Records, he made a really nice video about, people were asking him about buying collections and tips and tricks and everything. And one of the things that I took away from that video was he was saying, don't pay for records that you don't want. Sometimes people will make you buy the whole lot of records, but look through them, have an idea of like which ones you want, how much those ones are worth, and how much you'd be willing to pay for those ones, and then make your offer based on that. Don't pay for the records that you don't want. And so I was very aware of that, and I was saying I don't want to buy sight unseen a stack of records for $2 a piece. So I'm very glad that I didn't do that. So anyways, I'll get into the records now. So the first one I saw was this, Johnny Cash, the songs that made him famous. Now I like Johnny Cash. I am a fan, but this record in particular I bought because I noticed that it was on the Sun label, and I know that early Johnny Cash is on the Sun label and it can be valuable. And so I took a risk by buying this one. All these records are like dusty and dirty, and whoever had them, whoever had them was a big smoker, because they all smell like smoke, and there was no inner sleeves on here. And so you know, I was like, this is a risk, but I'll take a look and buy it. And actually, it is worth a little bit. It's worth more than what I paid for it, but it's not in excellent condition, so you definitely have to take that into consideration. But I was right. Like it's the thing about when you get a feeling and like you're digging for records, and you kind of like, that's where it gets exhilarating, where you're like, I think this is worth something. I think this is kind of worth more than what this guy wants for it. And so I was happy to pick this one up. For now, you know, it feels good to be right about, yeah, the Sun label. So it's actually a reissue. I don't think it's an original, but it's worth a little bit of money. So that's nice. And like I said, I don't flip my records. I keep them all, but it's just kind of nice to know that you made a good purchase. You're not like losing money right away. And I don't necessarily collect records like as an investment, but it's like I said, it's nice to know that you're being smart with your choices. And I'm buy the music because I like it, and it's nice to know that maybe it might hold on to some of its value as I listen to them. So next up, more Johnny Cash at Folsom Prison. This is kind of a very well-known live album from his. The big one is Folsom Prison Blues. There's also a really nice one on here. What is it? I Still Miss Someone. My aunt, who passed away a number of years ago, she was a big Johnny Cash fan. And when I hear that song, I Still Miss Someone, it always reminds me of my aunt. So this was a really nice throw in, and it's in decent condition as well. So glad to have that one. Next, okay, so then I saw this in the stack, and it's like, I'm flipping through, like I said, old country, really bad condition records, and stuff that I just wouldn't want to spend a bit of money on. And I see this record. And also, most of these records, like, they didn't have inner sleeves, and the guy was storing them horizontally, and I was just like, oh, this could be not good. But I saw this record, In Through the Outdoor, Led Zeppelin, and it's in good condition. And so I'm like, okay, that's good. So I open it up, and I'm like, okay, it's got an inner sleeve. That's great. And I'm like, shoot, it doesn't have the paper bag that it came in. All of these In Through the Outdoors came with a brown paper bag. And actually, it's in excellent condition. It's in, I don't want to say it's near mint, but it's like very good plus for sure. And so I was like, shoot. No paper bag. Okay. So I start flipping through a few more records, and then I see the paper bag, and he's got these random records that don't have any sleeves. They're all stacked, and he's using this to hold them. And so I took them out and just put them on the table, and then I just added this onto the cover, and was able to pick this up. So very happy to get this. Not, like I said, it's not my favorite Led Zeppelin album, but I have all of them except for 3 and Presence and In Through the Outdoor and Coda. And, you know, if you want to call Coda, like, it's not really an official Zeppelin album, you know, whatever. But, so I've been buying all the ones that I really want first, and then now I'm like, okay, I can get this for a good price. Because in the stores, it's usually being sold for like 15 or 20 bucks, and I just didn't want to I didn't want to spend that on this. So then he brings out a few more stacks, and I start to see some stuff that, okay, this could be good, this could be good. The next one I see is Beatles. Oh shoot, I showed I was supposed to show this one first. 1962 to 1966, and then 1967 to 1970. Guys, check out my Beatles. I did a Beatles video of my entire Beatles collection. I have a bunch of original Beatles from the 1960s, and that's a really one of my early videos that I did on this channel, so go check that out if you're a Beatles fan. But the 2 that I did not show because I don't have are these 2, and I was really happy to get them, and I got them for a good price, and these are in really, really good condition. I couldn't believe it. Like, gatefold, really nice. The records have like the inner sleeves with the lyrics on them, and again, like, I'd say at least very good plus on these records. So really, really nice. So very happy, and a good price. And so, like I was saying, it's just such a great feeling when I go to a yard sale or a thrift store, and you just find, I'll deal with that later, and you just find some good deals. It just makes me so happy, especially on good music that you really want to listen to. And then the last record that I will show, also from a yard sale. This is a gift from my lovely girlfriend. She was in Ottawa recently, our nation's capital, and anyone who's from Ottawa will know that there's a thing called like the Glebe yard sale, and she was there, and she was flipping through records, and she saw this, and she's just like, I have to get this for Chris. So this is Kansas 2 for the Show. This is a live double album from Kansas. I believe this is from 1978. So I have Left Overture and Point of No Return, which was 1976 and 1977. And so this is the live album, or like live album with a bunch of those tracks on it. I haven't listened to it yet, but yeah, happy to add this as a nice live prog double album from Kansas. So that's it, guys. I know I rambled a little bit, but I hope you enjoyed my stories. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and make sure you come right back here where Stylus meets vinyl. Thanks. See ya.